Differently. Instead of ranking foods from grocery stores or restaurants, I'm going to rank foods from fiction. One fiction in particular, Bob's Burgers. There's a near unlimited amount of burgers to choose from in the Bob's Burgers diaspora. I never use that word correctly. Lexicon. The Bob's Burgers lexicon. So we picked the top 20 Bob's Burgers. How are they the top 20? Don't worry about it. It's a certain somebody's birthday and burgers. So I can think of no better than whipping up little birdie's gonna be that birdie being the birthday boy himself. That his favorite cake is coconut cake. So I'm gonna make that Tom Cruise coconut cake. Thematically appropriate? No. All right, first burger's here.
Okay.
Thank you, Rachel.
You are welcome. That is the don't forget that's what we need. So this one has
Is this from the cookbook? Like,
that's from the cookbook.
Okay, so the official Bob's Burger literature specifies this to have blueberries on it.
Yes.
Are they just whole fresh blueberries?
Yeah, I did a little bit of salt, a little bit of sugar, cooked them down a little exactly, and did a little drizzle over top. A little fresh spinach to cut it. And then you've got some dill, basil, parsley, a little lemon zest, and the creme fraiche.
So we are starting off strong. Let's see what happens here. Not feeling super optimistic about this one. This is the problem with opening yourself to new experiences. You get hurt. So you should just never do that. I would describe it as a spinach salad with a lovely dill dressing and blueberries, which all makes pretty good sense. But then you throw a burger in there. And I'm gonna have another bite of it. It's not like disgusting, surprisingly. I kind of have a soft spot for this because the one time I went to Italy, in Florence, I went to a place called Acqua al Due, and there they serve a blueberry steak. I chased that dragon for probably 10 years.
I was muted the entire time, I'm so sorry.
This is kind of scratching a weird old itch for me. I wouldn't eat this whole thing. I don't think, or I would. If I
One day I will get the hang of adjusting all your settings accordingly.
Why didn't I just get something with bacon on it?
But not today.
Actually, that'd be pretty good. There's things happening that are working. So, shock and old shocks. Give it a 6. Not badly done. Biography.
Eggers, can't be choosers. Cheesers. Eggers, can't be cheesers. You have to throw that one in there.
Gotta get the full one.
Yes, little Friday.
Wow.
Some classic sharp ched.
Just a freaking breakfast burger. Can't see how this could possibly go wrong. You can't go much better than this. Fried egg only adds to the burgers.
What the fuck?
It's fat, that's flavored, adds texture. It's breakfast like that any time of day. And I think eggers can be cheapers because that's what's happening.
Well, I'm getting impounded anyway, so I guess I'll be joining the station one way or another.
Yeah, this one is nice
For this one, I like cauliflower steak. How's it going to work on a burger? I wish there was cheese on it, if I'm being honest. But
Great.
it's healthy-ish, at least healthier.
It's basically a salad.
Yeah. Working with here.
I really hope
Okay,
it's
it's,
checked out that I'm
that
at
looks
the
great.
station and not in
It's
just some
cauliflower
dude's hangar.
Steak on a burger. What are you expecting? Okay. I mean, it wants cheese real bad. The cauliflower is nice. It's like adding a very unintrusive texture. Like it's crispy around the edges.
I had to break somehow. Glad it was in the
It's got a
first
nice little cumin
5
flavor.
minutes.
It's not nothing crazy, but nothing terrible either. I don't know. I keep eating it, so it's a 6 because it's like not bad, but it's also it wants cheese. It wants something.
We have every breath you tikka masala, a tomato, Kashmiri chili mayo, and then with a little bit of grated garlic as well. A tikka masala spice blend. Dusted that over the patty, gave it a quick little sear.
Smells fantastic.
Right?
Looks lovely. Oh, that's delicious. That's delicious! Spices are just right. Again, another burger without cheese. What are we doing here? But doesn't need it. All the mayo, super rich, really flavorful. I love it. This guy's getting an 8.
I love it.
For a burger with no cheese on it, that's an accomplishment. People have been saying my job's too easy. Well, time to prove them wrong. Finished adding the wets and dries, so I have a complete batter here. Oven's preheating, now it's time to grease up that pan. But first, the next burger.
It's fun to stay at the YMCA.
It looks beautiful.
The Y is, it's R-Y-E, so they took some liberties there. The M, mustard. The A, avocado. I think that covers it. What was the M? C, cheese. Cheese.
Okay, let's see what happens. I want a little more from it. I want it to want more for itself. And that's self-sufficiency. Teach a man to burger, he burgers for a day. Teach a man to babish, he'll burger for a lifetime. Yeah, the avocado, it's a little too mushy. I mean, I'm not a big fan of avocado on sandwiches, if I'm being honest. It's just fine. It's another 6, I think. I think that this could be a lot better with a more flavorful fat.
This one is between a brock and a chard place. So garlic, chard and broccoli florets, toasted bun, little boig. There's no cheese, no sauce. I'm so sorry.
That's not your fault, I don't think. If I remember correctly, I didn't wash the chard that well. So I think that this is going to be a, well, it's going to be a journey.
Yeah, it's like eating a burger on
To the beach. Journey to the beach.
Let's go.
So, another quote-unquote healthier entrant to the Bob's Burger cinematic universe.
I love how dropping like 20 feet didn't kill me. And just give me like a minor
You're eating a burger you don't expect.
minor bruise in my ankles.
The flavors are decent, like, you know.
But I'm not complaining, could be dead.
A little bit, but it's more the garlic that I taste. And I sauteed garlic. That's playing nice in there. If I had washed the chard properly,
Your insurance
this would
claim
probably be
has
okay.
been sent.
But still, nothing special, nothing to write home about. I think we got another 6 on our hands here.
To the ASOP vehicle retrieval system.
Yellow polka dot zucchini. Yellow
Thank
zucchini
you.
fritter.
Oh.
Grated with some onion, a little bit of garlic.
Well, they're cute. It's true. But do they taste cute?
Welcome to the ASOP vehicle retrieval system. Welcome to the ASOP vehicle retrieval system. Your insurance claim has
Yeah,
been sent.
again, another burger that wants for
Please
cheese.
visit
Bob does way too much without cheese. He's way overconfident. It's just a whole bunch of bread and some zucchini in there. It's just, it needs something. It needs a sauce. It needs cheese. It needs something. Maybe the most disappointing burger thus far today. It's not bad, but it's also not good, so that's 5. Sorry, little guys. It's that time of day where I put batter in pan, and I don't mean go to the bathroom.
Is that your instrument for
You going to the bathroom? Yeah. How do you say it?
take a dump? You know, it's probably the most classic.
Ew, Brad, that's disgusting. Do you want to build a snowman? Okay, hold my hand. You're getting a little old for this. You're 35 years of age, Brad. Why do you still need to hold someone's hand?
Yeah.
Okay, now this is one of the most iconic ones. Bet it all on black garlic burger.
There it is.
One of my favorite episodes also. We've got a black garlic mayo. Forewarned, it was pretty packed on there.
As is the cheese.
Yes, I was going to say,
Right.
they made an absolute brick of mozzarella.
Hi, welcome to the
spinach.
store.
Yeah, that's a lot of mozz. You know, if the black garlic's really pungent, then maybe this will help.
Do I still have little grenades?
Find out.
Hey.
Yeah.
Hi,
That's
welcome
good.
to the store.
Correct.
In the context of a prosciutto sandwich in my head, we're like, okay, a major, instead of mozz being a condiment, it's a major component of this sandwich. And it works. I like it.
What?
I think it's a 7.
Hi,
The black
thanks for coming
garlic is a very pungent flavor, and the nothingness of the mozzarella sort of like, it gives it a bigger field to play on. You know what I mean?
Hi. Let me know.
Rotating cake. Don't get excited. Oh, Brad. When are you gonna learn that I know it's your birthday? Stupid idiot.
It's the final countdown. Sorry, I had to do that. It's It's called the final countdown.
It's in your contract.
Yes, thank you. Thank you. Yes, actually, that is. We have Swiss cheese, double Swiss cheese, because you haven't had cheese in a minute. You need a little extra, you know?
Nice, yeah.
Absolutely. Spicy mustard, classic sauerkraut, toasted bun. Yeah, it
Sounds
can't
great.
be bad.
Yeah, no, there's no way this is
No,
bad.
no.
Unless you don't like sauerkraut, cheese, and burger meat. There is a fair amount of kraut. I don't want that to be mustard. I want it to be French dressing or Thousand Island dressing. It just goes so much better with sauerkraut. That being said, it's still good, you know. It's sauerkraut, it's cheddar, it's mustard. It's good. It's fine.
Welcome
Yeah, nothing to complain
to
about.
the ASOP vehicle retrieval
But
system.
nothing to write home about.
Goodbye.
But nothing that bad. But nothing that good either.
Still 2 fucking minutes.
We're just laying out sixes today. Today's the day of the six.
This is the last of the Mohicama. It has a jicama slaw, julienne, jalapeno, red bell pepper, red onion, jicama, tossed with lime, olive oil, salt.
It's gonna be a wet burger.
Yeah.
Welcome
And
to the
I don't like
ASOP
a wet
vehicle
burger.
retrieval system.
I'm not crazy about the texture of the jicama. That being said,
I can wait 2 minutes.
the slaw is delightful. The red and green bell peppers, the onion, there's a little bit of acidity from whatever dressing she made for it. It's nice. I would totally eat this. Like I don't know, I want it to be on something else, like a chicken burger. That's it. A really juicy chicken or turkey burger. I think that's it. Because chicken and turkey burgers historically drier than beef burgers. So this would bring some moisture in the situation. And some flavor too. So like these flavors I feel like would work a lot better with poultry. Black garlic burger has become my metric for 7 now because it's good, but it needs help.
Not again.
This one is good. It doesn't have cheese on it. How could it possibly have the same score as black garlic burger? That's mostly cheese. I'm gonna give it a 6. It is tasty. It's quite tasty, but it's another 6. This is the poor grab this person. It's just gonna be the longest line. What if they run out of room on the screen? Wow, that last burger was something, huh? Well, now I'm making a cake again. This is how we should do it every time. I get confused, I make mistakes, it's totally jarring for me. I guess that's normal, now that I think about it.
We have another classic, the Baby Who Chides My Car. Would you call it quintessential?
Yeah, it's iconic.
Yeah.
What?
Iconic.
It's
That's
one of the
another word.
all-timers.
Yes. So we have some fried pickle chips. We have a sour cream and chive
Hey.
sauce.
Okay. 0 value to eating these on their own because with this sour cream and chive sauce, this
Yeah.
is really where the magic happens. Okay. That's a good fried pickle. Looks like she went nice and sparing with the sour cream sauce. That's ideal. You want
ASOP
something
vehicle
dripping in
retrieval
sour cream.
system. Vehicle selected. Welcome. Stand by. The ASOP vehicle retrieval system. Your
No,
vehicle has been
like
please visit a
cheese would certainly improve it, but it doesn't really need it. You've got the dairy, you've got the nice little sour hit from the sour cream, and from the pickles. I think these are like dill, so they have a decent acidity level. But then there's the richness of the beef and the richness of the fry batter. That's adding a whole other level of savory to it. It's just every bit as good as I imagine it. If it had some kind of cheese on it, no, actually, I think cheese would be too much. I don't think there's any improving it. That being said, it's not like the perfect burger. It's not like the best thing in the world. It's pretty damn good. So I'm gonna give this a 9. If this was young Bob who came up with it. This was baby Bob. He was innovative. I think it was because his father wasn't supporting him. Okay? Sometimes you need to have boundaries to reach beyond. You feel me?
A New York classic. The forget about it.
Welcome to the ASOP
does.
vehicle retrieval
So
system.
this is goat cheese, an absolute slab of it.
I was gonna say there's as much goat cheese as there is beef on this burger,
It's
which
a 50-50 ratio.
just
like
saying
a 1
that
to
out
1.
loud.
Yep, kind of like a 1 to 1. And then
Welcome to the ASOP vehicle
on
retrieval system.
top. So sweet, salty, a little bit of a combo.
Thank you, question mark? Thank you. It's good. I squished a bunch out by cutting it in half, so that's gonna help.
I totally blocked out getting a max left for a shot.
Kind of works.
Nice
It's like I'm eating
sounds.
a charcuterie board on a burger. It's better than I thought, not something I would seek out. That's a 6. Well, while we're waiting for the next one, I might just do a little bit of cake craft. So,
Yeah.
this might ruin your cake, Brad. If it does, I'm not sorry. I have to try new things. I have to step outside of my comfort zone. So do you.
So it doesn't seem to have that much of a good time at this station, at least, and way too many players for it. Alright.
Hey.
You should appreciate that about me.
This one's for the ladies. Girls just want to have fennel.
Oh, okay.
Yes, it has the caramelized fennel that you made yesterday,
Okay.
and that's it.
I don't have high hopes for this one, to be honest. I think this is going to dearly want cheese. Maybe like a Munster Gruyere. Oh, great. This would be Gruyere. It's tasty enough. But yeah, if this had Gruyere on it, it'd be getting it. I think it'd be getting a 10. Like if you did Gruyere and maybe even some of that fig jam on this, I think you'd be looking at a 10. As it is, I'm gonna start sounding like a broken mind. But got another 6 on our hands here because it is just better than okay.
That one is She's a Super Leak, and we have.
You're loving this.
I am. I really am. I love a dad joke. So for me, I'm like yes. So that is sharp white cheddar and the corned beef leeks, parsley, whole garlic, olive oil, and I think salt.
What kind of cheese is this?
Sharp cheddar.
Is that part of the recipe or is that a?
I thought it was.
I'm glad that you took that
Yeah.
leak with this because I think just leaks on there would be a bummer.
It would have been kind of sad. No, I
But
totally
this
agree.
looks rocking. That's what was missing in the last one. Not only was the fennel, I tried to caramelize it, but there was not enough sugar in fennel, so it was naturally caramelized. I even added sugar, but it wasn't sweet and jammy enough the way that onions are. And then you got the cheddar over top. That's perfect. Burger itself, I love it. If I weren't becoming extremely sick of burgers and eating in general, I would eat this entire thing. I would gleefully eat this entire thing. I think we have a 9 on our hands. This is a fantastic burger.
Olive hat what she's having.
Yeah.
This one comes with an olive mayo and then layered with corned beef as well.
So we're definitely taking liberties here with the corned beef, but you know, it's a tribute to When Harry Met Sally. I don't know. But I'd like to think that it's not just olives on the burger.
Yeah, no, that would be really sad.
Yeah.
That's what I was thinking.
So what do we got here? Okay, it's exactly what she described, but that's the cross section. That's a shame. I've never had olives with corned beef. You know, in my mind, I thought it was going to go great. It was a
Yep. All the sounds.
It's like I'm at an amazing ketchup for my nose. I'm not a huge olive fan, but that's not even weighing into my decision. It doesn't even taste like a burger or corned beef or nothing. It just tastes like olives.
Sorry, here. So this has Vermont white sharp cheddar, a regular mild cheddar, horseradish cheddar, and then the top one is a habanero cheddar.
Whoa.
So,
So, if I'm not mistaken, we'll be right back. It's cake time. Come on down to Babish Cake Days. It's the Babish Cake Days sales event. It's all you can food. Oh, welcome back. Okay.
Welcome to the ASOP Vehicle Retrieval System.
Whew, I have a feeling this is going to be a
Vehicle
little...
select. Your vehicle has been
Let's see
detected.
Ooh. I think if not only is there too much cheese on it, there's too much of some of these flavors. I suggested horseradish cheddar. That's on me. But there's a tremendous amount of it on there. And it really drowns out the other flavors. I'm going to score it as though that's
In all honesty, this thing looks like a bionic arm. Which looks cool.
Better look out, you better not crash. You better not shut. Okay, definitely tastes extra. I'm not gonna hold that. That's my problem. My cross is there. My curse. There's a lot less avocado than there was on the patty melt. It's nicely like spiced and has some lime juice in it, and so there's nice balanced all the fat. It's good. I wouldn't say it's like amazing, but it's ticking every box. It's leaving nothing unticked. I'll give it an 8. It's a very good burger. All right, enough fun in games. It's back to cake time. You're right, man. You're right. It is more like the present time.
This is the beets bourbon. We have sliced beans, a dill garlic mayo that I tried to jazz up enough to hopefully, I don't know if it's going to help at all, with pickled beets on top of the bird.
Also, that flavor is going to be overwhelming.
Yeah, it's going to be intense.
This is going to suck, I think. Once again, my expectations have been subverted. I quite like that. The herb and garlic mayo is fantastic with the beets. Like, those two things play together real nice. It also plays real nice with the burger. And the beets, I thought they were going to be really intrusive, both in texture and flavor. Pickled beets especially. But, you know, pickles are good on burgers, right? Again, not blowing me away, but it is also way better than I thought it was going to be. I don't know. Again, I don't know if I would order this, but it's really quite good. I'm gonna give it a 7. It's like Transformers 1. It's better than it needed to be. Oh,
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry on this one. This is not if I can help it. We've got a north bottom. I would say what I made soy sauce and rice vinegar and cooked sesame oil. So hopefully
Someone's messing around with the crates.
do not like seaweed salads, especially those like it when it's wet. Kelp, I don't want this. Oh, I got it down. Yeah. I don't like that. I think that it is offensive. I want to see what an actual seaweed enjoyer thinks of this burger. And I know that Nico is a heavy-duty seaweed enjoyer. And I know that he's tired of eating burgers with his boss. Yeah, we need your seaweed expertise. I think you're probably gonna like it. Like, as far as seaweed salads go, I think it's well seasoned.
Delicious seaweed salad.
Okay.
pickle, but I thought maybe I could hide the blue cheese dressing.
I almost wish there was buffalo sauce on it. That was too much. That's better. It's not bad. Burgers, you know, they're good and flavorful, but I cannot taste them. This only tastes like vegetable dipping sticks that has the texture and appearance of a burger. The mouthfeel. Exquisite mouthfeel.
HDPC Farms Way.
Yeah, I can't get behind blue cheese. Even blue cheese dressing, I can't get behind it on a burger because it just drowns out the thing that you're eating, which is a burger. I guess it's a 5. Also, the only bite that I had hot sauce on it, so I think I have to take another bite. Brad nods his head yes. This is perfect. Like the last bite, but worse.
Right, the final one. I know. Right.
Okay.
Garlic, paprika, thyme, garlic powder, all that jazz. A little bit of mild cheddar, just to give it a little oomph. Some sliced white onion, and then seasoned the patty as well with plenty of Cajun seasoning too. So hopefully it should be a nice meal.
I think it's gonna be nice. That looks pretty freaking good. Might be another bucks, right? Even though she put Cajun seasoning in the patty is like still nice and loose, so she must not have used salt, because salt will bind the proteins together in meat. This one's like perfect, and the flavors are all really great. That Cajun mayo, just right, raw onion in there. Everything's working together. As much as I am sick of burgers, I'm going to give this the 10, and just because I feel like this is the right way to do things, I'm going to retroactively bump the fried egg one up to a 10. Because if this gets a 10, then that should deserve it. That's another perfect food item, and I think that this is as close to perfect as a themed burger can get. Because it tastes decidedly Cajun, but it's not stealing the show. It's not overwhelming, and it's still very much a burger. I'm having no, I'm not. I'm done here. Well, folks, that's it. And it was accomplished in no small part, in fact, entirely thanks to the incredible efforts of Rachel Dolphy. Just want to bring you on for a little.
I loved doing it. It was really, really fun. Time for a nap? Company-wide nap after 20 burgers? Or what about the cake?
But now, surprise, Rachel! It's Brad's birthday cake.
Happy birthday, Brad! Yay! I knew it! Yay, Brad!
Thank you.
Oh, you ready to eat this whole cake right now?
Okay.
We're gonna rank every bite of this cake. So, hello and welcome back to another episode of Ranking with Babish, or as I like to call it, Banking with Ravish. Today we're doing things a little...
It's really healthy to look on my screen every once in a while I'm on my approach vector. I cannot see anything going wrong at all. There are a bunch of people around here right now. Open the door then. Okay, he isn't giving me anything. He adjusted the landing pad to my pilot, but I'm He doesn't open the doors for me. Great. Luckily, there are some outside the station. There we go. One commission taken care of. I really hope they work. A dude said these missions work now. Okay. They do. So this should enable me to do missions of with a higher payout, and they do. Fantastic. And they pay out 50k as well. What happened? Did it not accept the mission? Yet again? Nope, there it is. So it took a while again. Let's see.
Thank you to my favorite butter, Danish Creamery, for sponsoring this episode. I've teamed up with them to bring you a series of butter-forward holiday recipes this season. Extra churned with 85% butterfat for a richer taste and texture, Danish Creamery European-style butter is the secret ingredient to leveling up almost any dish. The butter is an innovative blend of Danish heritage and American innovation, and the product speaks for itself. For more info on Danish Creamery, head to the link in the description.
I'm spilling everywhere, and I'm behind on the lobster. I have a question. His cousin, Michelle's friend, Steven, is he gay?
Is who gay? Ma, why are you doing this seven dishes thing? Nobody ever eats fish.
No, Steven, is he gay? I mean, he seems kind of gay. You know, he's party, and I mean, I love him and everything, but he's gay, I think. And it's tradition.
It's tradition that he's gay?
No! The seven fishes. What the do you think I've been doing this this morning for?
Okay, Ma, hey, how can I help?
You can fix the forks.
Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back to Binging with Babish, where this week we're taking a look at the Feast of the Seven Fishes from the Bear, one of the most intense and upsetting episodes of television ever devised. Now this is obviously a rather complicated feast, so I'm going to go dish by dish, starting with the whole roasted branzino, which I'm going to pat dry inside and out, lightly oil inside and out, and heavily season with salt and pepper inside and out. This might be the first dish that I'm going over, but ironically it'd be the last one that you'd want to make, as these fish are simply being stuffed with lemons and herbs, just a little bit of fresh rosemary, thyme, and parsley, and a couple cloves of garlic roughly chopped, all of which is simply going to scent the meat as the fish roasts. I'm also going to sprinkle the skin with a little bit of pepper and Cheeto. I'm also going to very lightly score the fish skin, which should help it roast up crispier. Last but not least, I'm going to scatter some capers around the fish, which should roast up into some crispy little pops of flavor. This guy's headed into a 425-degree Fahrenheit oven for about 20 minutes, until the skin is brown and the thickest part of the meat registers 145 degrees Fahrenheit. Plate up on a nice comfy bed of lemons, and scatter the crispy capers over top. Next up, another ironically a la minute dish, king crab legs, which in New York City are available almost exclusively frozen. So after letting them thaw in the fridge overnight, I'm convincing them to fit in a large pot with an inch of boiling water in the bottom. I've also got some lemon slices, peppercorns, and bay leaves swimming around in there, and we're going to cover them up and steam them for about 5 minutes, or until they too register 145 degrees at the thickest point. We're going to serve those with some lemons and drawn butter, which we'll go over later. So that's the very simplest of dishes out of the way. So now we're going to go back in time and do some more complicated stuff, starting with oysters Rockefeller. In the jar of a food processor, I'm combining the whites of 8 scallions, quarter of an onion roughly chopped, 2 cloves of garlic, and 1 rib of celery roughly chopped. Now we're going to use the food processor to basically finely chop all these ingredients. Once you got yourself a nice chunky paste, we're going to take this over to the stovetop, where we're going to saute it in a healthy drizzle of olive oil, about 2 to 5 minutes or until softened and translucent. This is just going to soften some of the harsher flavors that are going into the herb butter that goes on the oysters Rockefeller. We're also going to
300 seconds.
Tablespoons of Pernod, a French anise flavored liqueur, pretty much absinthe without the wormwood and with less alcohol. Cook this for 1 to 2 minutes or until the alcohol smell dissipates. Then we're throwing it back in the food processor with the ingredients whose flavors we want to keep fresh. The reserved greens of our 8 scallions, a big old fistful of parsley roughly chopped, stems included, and a half cup of frozen and thawed spinach. Process this stuff together a few times until roughly combined, and then we're going to add 1 stick or 8 tablespoons of unsalted butter. We're kind of all over the map here in terms of traditionality, but the original recipe for oysters Rockefeller was kept a secret by its creator, and he's dead, so whatever. Pulse this stuff into a rough paste and refrigerate until you're ready to rock the feller. Give it a taste and realize that you didn't add salt and pepper, so be sure to do that. Next up, the oysters themselves, which must be shucked. A difficult and dangerous process for which I have no existing knowledge. So I'm basically going to stab at these shells until they open up and advise you to seek oyster shucking instruction elsewhere. And if you've never done it, to avoid this annoying process entirely. Once you've managed to open a half dozen oysters, we're wedging them into a bed of rock salt to keep them upright, generously topping with our herby oniony butter, and top that with some homemade Italian seasoned breadcrumbs, which once again we'll go over later. Once you're finished with this, you're going to realize that you're using too big a tray, especially now that counter space is rapidly disappearing. So transfer the whole arrangement to a quarter sheet and set these guys under a medium broiler for 3 to 5 minutes until the butter mixture is softened and the breadcrumbs are golden brown. Plate up on some more rock
Bro,
salt
the
and
crab
get ready
legs
to go back in
look
time
so
again,
fucking
this time
good.
to make insalata di polpo, or octopus
I wanna eat
salad.
it.
I've got one whole, very dead and debeaked octopus, which I'm going to drop into a large pot of simmering water, along with both the juice
I had
and
breakfast
cinnamon
and this
carmel,
is
1 lemon, 3
making me
cloves of
hungry
beautiful
already.
lightly
Goddamn.
crushed garlic, 1 heaping tablespoon of black peppercorns, and a heaping handful of parsley, all of which is going to gently perfume the octopus as it cooks for 45 minutes to 1 hour. You want to keep the temperature of the water at a very gentle poach, from 180 to 190 degrees Fahrenheit, so the octopus doesn't become tough or rubbery. Once it's tender enough to be easily pierced with a paring knife, we're going to gently transfer it to a large ice bath, taking extra care not to drop it. You know, like that. Smooth, Andy. Leave it in the bath until fully chilled, about 30 minutes. Now, insalata de
On.
is about as much potato as it is octopus. So I got 1 pound of halved baby Yukon Golds that I've soaked for an hour, rinsed and placed in some cold, heavily salted water, which we're going to bring up to a simmer and cook until completely tender. Speaking of which, I'm cutting our chilled and extremely tender octopus into bite-sized pieces. Once the potatoes are cooked and completely cooled, we're combining them with the octopus and preparing a bright and herbaceous dressing. I got a half cup of freshly squeezed lemon juice, the zest of 2 lemons, and I'm combining that with 1/3 of a cup of extra virgin olive oil, a half cup of chopped fresh parsley, 1 clove of crushed garlic, and a few generous pinches of kosher salt and twists of freshly ground black pepper. Then go ahead and beat this up with a small fork until it emulsifies into a dressing. Taste for seasoning, and if it's too thin, you can add more olive oil. Drizzle that over the octopus.
Did it kick me out of the fucking line?
Coated. Give it a taste to make sure that everybody's properly seasoned, and adjust as necessary when you inevitably need more salt, pepper, and olive oil. Then we're going to cover
Great.
and refrigerate this for 1 to 4 hours to let things marinate before serving over a bed of arugula to lend a nice peppery bite. Next up, Italian stuffed artichokes, a dish that unfortunately looks a lot better than it tastes. We're starting by snipping off the tip of each leaf, mostly as a courtesy to our diners so that they don't spike their fingers. Then we're going to chop off the stem all the way up to the base so that the artichokes stand upright, and then saw off the top 1.5 inches, exposing the beautiful Fibonacci sequence within. Now these guys are going to get steamed to completion before being roasted. Over about 1 inch of water combined with 1/2 cup each of white wine and lemon juice, plop in a steamer basket, populate with artichokes, cover and steam until completely tender, about 30 minutes depending on the size of your chokes. A paring knife should slip into its bottom without resistance. Now at this point these guys can be cooled completely, covered and fridged overnight until ready to roast. Next up, those Italian breadcrumbs I promised we'd come back to. I've got about 2 cups of already Italian breadcrumbs that I'm going to further italicize. Adding a 1/2 cup of chopped fresh parsley, a 1/2 cup each Parmesan and Romano cheese, the zest of 1 lemon, and 2 crushed cloves of garlic. Go ahead and toss those all together for the tastiest bread that ever did crumb. This stuff is going to go real nice with our artichokes, oysters, and most any seafood application. Now we're going to generously brush the artichokes with butter, both because it will of course taste delicious and it will help our breadcrumbs adhere to the surface. So we're going to sprinkle that stuff on there generously, making sure to
There we go.
open the leaves of the artichokes so that the breadcrumbs get down inside. And go really crazy here. You want to get the breadcrumbs as deep down into the artichoke as possible so that when you eat the leaves, you don't have to put the whole thing in your mouth to get some breadcrumbs. Now we're going to roast these guys at 425 degrees Fahrenheit until they are browned and melty and look really, really good. Like I said, I'm not super crazy about this one. The breadcrumbs are delicious, but they just get soggy and there's not that many of them. But like most seafood, they are an excuse to eat butter like it's salsa, specifically clarified or drawn butter, which we're going to make about 2 pounds of, so we're going to need a bigger pot. Simply melt and cook the butter over medium heat until the foaming subsides and the milk solids begin to separate. You can start skimming off the foam and skimming the solids as you see them, but either way, before the solids begin to brown, we're going to strain this stuff through a few layers of cheesecloth or a couple paper towels, removing every last piece of particulate and leaving us with some fittingly named clarified butter. You could also just do melted butter, but this is classy. Skim off any remaining foam, allow to cool, cover, and refrigerate until ready to use. And by use, I mean basically drink it, using the medium of crab, artichokes, and lobster. Garnish
Bro,
with
I'm not
parsley
going
because,
to
again, glaze.
wait
Speaking of
5
which, I've got
fucking
two
minutes
large
for this.
lobsters killed off screen that I'm going to drop into a vat of boiling water, once again lightly poaching it around 180 degrees Fahrenheit, gently cooking the meat until it registers 135 to 140 degrees Fahrenheit at its thickest point. Pull them out of the hot tub and send them straight into the ice bath, quickly chilling the meat so that it doesn't overcook, which also means we get to serve these guys cold, which is way easier. And there you go, quote-unquote fish number 5 of 7, served with some lemon halves, and leave the duty of cracking open and retrieving the meat to your dinner guests. Next up, my favorite part of being Italian at Christmas, some fried calamari, for which I'm going to make a cheater's aioli, basically just a thinner mayonnaise of 2 eggs, 1 whole clove of garlic, a pinch of salt, and a splash of lemon, processed together using an immersion blender in a cup the same size as the blender head. I'm also going to gently process in a couple Calabrian chilies for a little bit of heat and a nice pop of color. Now we're going to pour 1 cup of neutral flavored oil like vegetable or canola down the side of the cup, letting it settle on top and gently pulsing the immersion blender upward, emulsifying together the eggs and oil into a nice creamy mayonnaise that we're going to call aioli. This will just be our filthy, delicious little secret, like a can of body chocolate in the fridge. You can cover and refrigerate this for up to 2 weeks or until ready to use. Next up, the calamari itself. Got about a half pound of fresh squid here that I'm going to very thoroughly pat dry. I'm cutting the upper part of the squid or mantle into the signature rings and keeping the tentacles whole because they're going to fry up into nice little clusters. Next, we're going to marinate these guys in a mixture of 2 cloves of crushed garlic, the zest of 1 lemon, a big old pinch of kosher salt, and a few twists of FGBP, thoroughly massaged until evenly coated, and allow to marinate for at least 30 minutes before cooking. Once you're ready to fry, we got a 3-stage breading process. First, very thoroughly coating each piece in flour inside and out, shaking off any excess, tossing in some beaten eggs, shaking off again, and then tossing in a very interesting breading, semolina flour, something I've never tried before. I'm very excited to see how it goes. We're sending these into a big vat of neutral frying oil at 375 degrees Fahrenheit for about 2 to 3 minutes, shuffling occasionally to make sure they don't stick together, skimming out and draining on a wire rack, then making sure to generously season with kosher salt while it's still hot so the salt sticks. And if you can't tell by my body language, this stuff came out pretty awesome. I'd actually recommend doing a 50-50 mix of semolina and flour or breadcrumbs, but it makes for a nice ultra crunchy crust. Next up, our final quote-unquote fish, which is actually shrimp. I'm making a poaching bath of heavily salted water, a whole lemon squeezed before dunking, 3 bay leaves, and a few cloves of garlic. Drop in the shrimp and once again maintain a gentle poaching temperature of about 180 to 190 degrees Fahrenheit, letting these guys cook for 2 to 4 minutes or until
Yep,
pink.
much better. If there are not 5 million people around, these missions get... Not the missions, but the... You get way more FPS on your server.
Next up, we're going to make cocktail sauce for some reason, combining 12 ounces of chili,
Unsurprisingly.
half a cup of ketchup, 1 tablespoon Worcestershire sauce, 1 tablespoon lemon juice, and 2 to 4 tablespoons of prepared horseradish, depending on how zesty you want things to be. Mix and combine and taste to confirm that it tastes exactly like the stuff you get out of a jar. Spoon this stuff into a coupe or martini glass and arrange the chilled and dried shrimp around the rim. And there you have it, the Feast of the 7 Fishes. A heady combination of meticulously prepared seafood, which if cooked by yourself all in one day, could potentially drive you to madness. And of course, we gotta make garlic bread, meatballs, and sauce because, and I quote, nobody eats this shit anyway. We're gonna need high quality butter here, so I got 2 sticks of unsalted creamery, to which I'm going to add both a teaspoon of garlic powder and 4 cloves of crushed garlic, which is going to give us a more complex range of garlic flavor. I'm also going to add a half teaspoon of crushed chili flake, 1 teaspoon of dried oregano, a half cup of freshly chopped parsley, 1 to 2 teaspoons of kosher salt, and some freshly ground black pepper. Massage that together into a compound butter. Now, it kind of looked like Jamie Lee Curtis was just using plain butter, so I'm sorry for the inaccuracy here, but I'm only making 1 meal and I want it to be really good. She was seen spreading the butter by hand onto a round boule, which I'm going to cut in half and trim the top so that it lays flat. And I'm not sure if it's because she's Italian or having a nervous breakdown or both, but we too are going to spread the butter directly onto the bread using our 5-fingered spatula. Don't forget to drink plenty of red wine and get butter all over the glass, which is really visually upsetting for some reason. Go ahead and set these guys on a rim baking sheet, cover with aluminum foil, bake for 15 minutes at 400 degrees Fahrenheit, uncover and finish baking until brown. Now we're going to make some pretty basic but delicious Italian meatballs, removing the crust from 4 slices of sandwich bread and tearing it into tiny little pieces. We're going to use this to make a bread paste called panade that gives meatballs structure and helps them retain moisture. We're topping that with a half to a full cup of buttermilk, 2 tablespoons of heavy cream, 1/4 cup of grated Parmesan or Romano cheese, 1/4 cup of freshly chopped parsley, 1 teaspoon each dried oregano and basil, an optional half teaspoon of crushed red pepper, and 3 cloves of minced garlic. I like adding all this stuff to the panade because it ensures their even distribution throughout the meatballs. Mix this up into a paste, add more buttermilk if necessary to saturate the bread. Now we're going to add 3 lightly beaten eggs. I'm adding a pinch of salt to the eggs because this helps them beat up into a more homogeneous mixture. Adding that to the bowl. I don't know why I didn't mix that into the panade. You can totally do that. I've also got half small, finely diced onion and 2 tablespoons of tomato paste for flavor and color. Looks like I did add that to the panade. My apologies. Last up, we're adding 1 pound each ground beef, ground pork, and ground veal, and thoroughly massaging until no streaks of meat or panade remain. You don't want to overwork this mixture, but you don't want to underwork it either. Then we are, of course, forming this meatball mixture into meatballs, the size of which are entirely up to you. Isn't that fun? Personally, I like 4 to 5 bite balls, which are precisely 125 grams. Space these out evenly on a parchment-lined baking sheet, maybe staggering those lines so they have room to breathe, and roast at 425 degrees Fahrenheit until they register 150 at their thickest point, because they're going to finish cooking in the sauce. I got 2 28-ounce cans of whole San Marzano tomatoes that I'm going to process into a rough texture. I know Mikey said the small cans taste better, but I think it's just because he was hiding cash in them. Now in a large pot, I'm going to heat 2 to 3 tablespoons of extra virgin olive oil over medium-high heat until shimmering. Saute 1 finely chopped whole onion for 2 to 3 minutes or until beginning to turn translucent. Add 6 cloves of thinly sliced garlic, saute for another 30 seconds. Add 2 to 4 tablespoons of tomato paste, saute for another 30 seconds. And add the dual cans of processed tomatoes. I'm also going to add a big handful of fresh basil, which is going to shrivel and look gross, but is going to taste really, really good. We're going to bring this guy up to a bare simmer and let him cook for about 30 minutes, just to let those flavors get to know each other. Meanwhile, our meatballs are headed out of the hot box and straight into the hot tub, where we're going to simmer them together for another 30 minutes. When it's time to serve, we're going to cook 1 pound of pasta until it's about a minute shy of being done. Drain, reserving a cup of pasta cooking water, then add the water and about a cup's worth of the sauce together in the pot to finish cooking. Then I'm going to kill the heat and add a few tablespoons of our leftover garlic bread butter, mixing it briskly to emulsify together with the sauce, which is obviously going to taste awesome. Serve that up on a big old platter with plenty of meatballs, with our side of freshly toasted garlic bread, a big old sprinkle of Parmesan cheese, and some fresh basil leaves. Now only one thing is missing. No, not tuna casserole, Sprite, which Carmi makes from scratch. So to make our best at-home approximation, we're combining a half cup each lemon and lime juice, plain old tap water, and of course a half cup of granulated sugar in a small saucepan, which we're going to bring to a simmer and cook for a few minutes until slightly reduced and all the sugars dissolved. This is our lemon lime simple syrup, which I personally think kicks the shit out of actual Sprite. Assembly is as easy as combining it with some seltzer water at the ratio of your choosing. And there you have it, the Feast of the 7 Fishes. By making it over the course of 2 days and with the help of kitchen producer Rachel, my sanity's been preserved and nobody's driven a car through the wall, which I don't have the After Effects knowledge to fake. So let's see how everything is. The oysters Rockefeller are delicious, herby and buttery. The octopus salad is bright and bracing, and the octopus itself is delightfully tender. Like I said, I don't really understand the point of stuffed artichokes, but I love artichokes too much to care. The lobster is sweet and very tender thanks to its gentle poaching. It and so many other things go wonderfully with the drawn butter. The pasta, I'm embarrassed to say, is my favorite part, especially since it was finished with that awesome herb and garlic butter. The calamari is tender and crunchy, and the cheddar aioli has a nice spicy kick. The branzino is mild and flaky, the crab soft and rich, and the garlic bread is garlic bread, so it's obviously amazing. I can think of few fitter ways to celebrate the holidays with people you love, whose help you can graciously accept, so that dinner ends up on the table on time and nobody starts throwing forks at each other.
That looks so fucking good, Jesus.
Sauberere Zähne.
Fuck off.
It's finally here. The brand of cooking tools that made you
The sandwich for long enough. Oh, Brad, an hour and a half. Dark meat down here to more heat from the oven. We're also reducing the amount of time that the whole thing takes to cook through. If you stuff this bird, that stuffing needs to hit 165 to be safe. By that time, your breasts are up at 185, 190, and they're dry as a bone, which is why I do not stuff my turkeys, generally speaking. So we're gonna spatchcock it, and that process is as easy as it is fun. Why? How? How is this affixed in here? What is this sorcery that they've done to this? Oh my God, what manner of device? What kind of speculum did they put in this? No! Damn it! Into my eyes. Can you get salmonella through your eyes? Yeah. Well, I'm about to. I got this horrible device out of the bird,
And now we have to do two things. We have to cut out the spine, we have to cut out the wishbone. That's gonna make it easier to carve down the line. We wanna stay as close to the spine as possible, otherwise the thigh can kind of fall apart. This is Jess's favorite set of noises.
That's an upsetting noise.
Fucking ASMR here because it sounds so pleasant.
Sure, Brad. Pervert. Oh, you gotta really kind of get in there. Oh yeah. Look at that. That's flavor.
What's that thing at the bottom called? Remember?
That's the.
It has a Pope's something nose.
Oh, the
Pope's nose.
Pope's nose. I was gonna say the Pope's goiter. So now we have to find the wishbone. Hitting it out is a very onerous task. Also, it precludes you from being able to make a wish. Just like learning that Santa Claus isn't real, you gotta learn that wishes aren't real either, and that your dreams don't come true, and that you die alone. In the dark.
Okay.
Hi. Oh, you. Oh, it's. This is Doobie, aka Tina, aka Doobie Doobop, TikTok star extraordinaire, and YouTube star extraordinaire, as I understand. 600,000 subscribers in some odd weeks. Congratulations. Pretty cool. We're gonna make a gross wish. Whoever gets the longer piece, I guess, gets to. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. You win, I guess. So, ready? 1, 2, 3.
Oh no,
It's not as fun. Oh. Oh. I wish that we didn't do that. So now all we have to do is flatten our bird out by, I believe Jake N.G. Lopez Alt refers to it as a little bit of home chiropractor-y. Oh, God. It's always so visceral to do this, but guess what? It's worth it. What we have here is, probably about half a cup of kosher salt to maybe a teaspoon of baking powder, I'd say. The baking powder is going to lower the temperature at which the Maillard reaction occurs, so we end up with crispier skin. So I'm just hitting it very liberally, but conservatively.
So this is a centrist turkey?
This is a centrist turkey, Brad. This is a libertarian turkey. It believes in self-reliance, self-sufficiency. It believes in small cluckerment, small gobblements, government, whatever. Yeah, it's a centrist turkey.
And that's why it's dead.
Another minor improvement we're making to this recipe is last time I made stock from the spine and the spine alone. And as a result, not only was it very light, it wasn't as flavorful as it could have been. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take some store-bought turkey stock, I'm gonna fortify it with our turkey spine, our turkey neck, and some aromatics. This is a great way to amp up your store-bought stock and make it taste homemade. I just delivered that entire thing impeccably. All right, cleaver time, because I experienced some performance issues with my rabbit a couple weeks ago, and I don't want that again.
It happens to a lot of guys.
As I understand, it happens to men over 6 foot. Oh man, I love a good cleaver. That's great. I'm gonna cut this up into like 2-inch segments, just so the stock gets lots of exposure to that delicious spinal fluid. And there's the Pope's. Okay, not anymore. Now to give the stock a little bit more flavor and color, I'm going to brown the turkey pieces in a little bit of oil before adding the liquid and aromatics. I'm dropping in my turkey parts. Now, prepping vegetables for a stock is a very delicate, precise Done. Okay, we got some good color on our turkey bits.
What's my rep
Not
level?
bad smells either. I'd buy that for $1. That's RoboCop. Now, just because you can see the fond on the
Still
bottom
okay.
is getting a little dark, something that can help with that is adding more stuff to the pot. That creates steam that prevents stuff from sticking and burning. Mix these around a little bit, get some good color. Get some good fun at the bottom of the pie. You know what that is, folks? That is a one-way ticket to Flavorville. Try to sue me for that, guy. Try. Don't. Please don't try. Oh God, I made a huge mistake. I'm also gonna throw in a handful of fresh thyme. Always nice.
Fuck it, I'm gonna
Couple
try
bay
it.
leaves. Don't fully understand what they do, but they do something. And now I'm gonna cover it with 12 whopping cups of store-bought
As soon as
turkey
the
stock.
as
And
this
this
catches
stuff
up with me
normally
accepting
tastes
the mission.
like the
it
inside
is.
of a dog's ass, but most of us are already doing a whole lot around Thanksgiving, so adding stock to the mix generally not the best or funnest idea. This way, just by simmering these together for a couple hours, you're going to amp up the turkey flavor in your stock and, by extension, by proxy, your gravy. Knowledge. Okay. You hear that, folks? That's the sound of flavor. Not really. It's just the sound of our bread being dried out, and now it's croutons, and now it can cool off, and it can become our stuffing. Long story short, that is pretty short, actually, so I think we're good, right? Now's the...
Isn't this the right
That's the
station?
easiest part of the day, folks.
Melodic field station. No.
We are going to make some cranberry sauce, and that is as easy as
Collect waste from her farm melodic field station and deliver them to Everest Harbor.
4, 5, 6, 7,
I'm here.
8, 9, oop. I guess that counts as 110. 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18,
Okay,
19,
I think I can
20.
ignore that one.
21, and 22. It's a 22-step process. We're gonna bring this to a simmer and cook it for probably about 30 minutes until it's thick and cranberry sauce-like.
What
Wouldn't that be 23?
Like the Jim Carrey movie.
Oh, God.
To prep the turkey for roasting, first off, I'm going to chop up some aromatics, some mirepoix, no skinning, because these are just being used as drip catchers, because we're going to place the turkey on a wire rack set in a rim baking sheet to roast at a very high temperature. And a lot of drippings, a lot of fat are going to come off that bird, but we don't want it to burn. And if we just have a bare bottom of the tray, too much liquid is going to evaporate in the heat of the oven. It's going to burn, it's going to smoke, it's going to ruin Thanksgiving. So, sorry. I get the burps are only funny to me.
I laugh.
It's very easy to make you laugh. Look, watch this. I'm just doing a rough chop on my onions. We're just using these, prevent burning, and yada yada, and blah blah blah, and kill me, it's fine. Brad! Alright, let's line this guy with some aluminum foil. I'm going to dump all of our aromatics onto. Ah, my eyes! Okay. So, okay. Okay. So, shut up!
Never mind, it's fine.
You try to get
Okay.
Your apron.
You worried there for a hot minute.
I have my bird set here on my rack of aromatics. So now this guy's ready to go into our 425 degree Fahrenheit convection oven for probably about 45 minutes until the breasts register $155 and the thighs and dark meat register hopefully around like 175. Kendall, would you do the honors for me? Thank you. Oh, that rack's too high.
I'll do it.
Oh, thank you. I've had a bad track record with hot racks. All right, folks, it's the moment we've all been waiting for. The turkey's coming out of the oven. Oh, yeah. Look at how beautiful it is. This is the kind of all over brown, all over crisp skin that you cannot get with a traditional cooking method. Let's take a listen, shall we? Oh. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. What, did somebody replace the skin on this turkey with Murano glass? Let's temp it. Oh no. $1.47. We're gonna go a little bit longer, folks. That's turkey for you.
So this was the moment we're waiting for to still wait. What's happening?
All right, so our stock's been going for about an hour and a half. Hopefully it's reduced by about 4 cups. We're about to find out. And something I want to do is a blind taste test, starring none other than cameraman Brad. Brad, you ready?
I'm not blind.
So Brad, come on over here, and I'm going to prove to you for the last time that simmering aromatics and turkey in your... Okay. All right. Well, okay, you're ahead of me on the blindfold. That's cool.
So that's dying.
Right here. Right here. Right there. There you go, tall stuff. All right, Brad.
Okay.
You ready?
I think so.
I'm going to give you a little bit of stock number 1.
I'm kind of nervous it's going to burn my mouth.
It's not going to burn your mouth, I promise. I'm going to blow on it.
Thank you, it's very kind.
Okay. Ready? Here comes the train. I'm going to put it on the base of your lip first, and now we're going to dump it back. There we go. That's stock number 1.
Okay.
Now let's try out stock number 2. 1, 2, and 3.
Number 1 tastes substantially better.
What the?
Wait.
No, that's correct. I was saying that with a big smile on my face. I'm sorry.
Yeah, number 1 is like noticeably, like strikingly
yeah,
better.
All right, you can take that.
It's strikingly better.
Yeah, no,
Really is.
and I don't know why we needed to prove this.
No, take it off?
You have to take it off.
She really doesn't like the whole mask on the eyes
It's a
thing.
unicorn horn, but also not a unicorn horn.
No, it looks like you have a dude's package on your forehead.
That's what it looks like.
I love that that's Kendall's version of like some guy's package sitting on your forehead is it's like a unicorn horn.
Damn.
Thank you very much for your time.
Yes.
And it's always a pleasure to have you. And I'll see you right over there.
Okay, yeah, I'll be there. All right.
It's been a good time.
See you next time. All right, I'm just gonna take this. Look, here I am. Now I'm here. We're here.
Oh, look at that bird. Look at that bird. The thickest part of this breast, I'm clocking 162. Could not be more perfect. So, I'm going to let this guy rest for at least half an hour before carving. It will stay hot. The skin will stay shatteringly crisp. My God. My holy, sweet Jesus of Lord of Nazareth. That's really crispy. But the cool part about this episode is we're going to let it rest entirely because this is supposed to be a leftover sandwich. Another thing that I think I botched, honestly, because I ate the sandwich hot. I had everything hot, fresh out of the stove, as though it was a Thanksgiving dinner, and then I made it into a sandwich. That's not what a leftover sandwich is. We gotta make some stuff. First thing I'm gonna do is make some impromptu pork sausage. So we got a pound of pork, some chopped fresh sage, maybe about a tablespoon's worth. Got 1 clove of crushed garlic. I'm just gonna have a little S&P as well. And squish it together, and you can do this ahead of time. We're doing everything at once here because that is how we do things, because we aren't good at time management.
Sage advice.
Sage advice, you son of a bitch.
You know, because like the sausage has wisdom.
We're heading over to the stovetop now. We're gonna saute the sausage first, get some nice browning on it, and then we're going to saute the onions and celery and some other herbs, and then we're going to toss it all together with
I will not walk around my ship during warp travel because that will have the potential of me being stuck in space in the middle of nowhere.
and eggs. Plop. We're going to brown that up the same way we would if we was making hamburger. It's not the most pleasant looking thing in the world.
What do you mean?
Let's get this out of here. A lot of fat in this pan. We don't need all this damn fat. We just need a little bit of fat. In fact, you know, I'm going to use all of it. Never mind. We want all this fat. And now for the sizzle. Not as good as I'd hoped. Folks, we're gonna have a full Thanksgiving meal here. We're eating like kings tonight.
4 pilgrims.
And let's get these guys together. Cooled drained sausage in with the breadcrumbs. Got my sauteed vegetables going in there. Ooh, I like that. I have some. It's chopped parsley, a bunch of chopped fresh sage, and a little bit of picked fresh thyme. And now I'm just gonna give these guys a little toss together, try to cool off those vegetables because we have to add stock and we have to add an egg, and I don't want to cook anybody. To prevent the eggs from scrambling, I'm going to temper them with a bit of warm stock, which will hopefully be a thing that works.
What does tempering mean?
Tempering means slowly adding a bit of warm liquid to eggs, which basically denars the temperature, and then it prevents temperature. So it prevents. Can you explain the science behind this?
Well, it's really simple. It's just to bring in, so if eggs are refrigerator cold and stock is at 90 degrees, you're going to be bringing up the overall temperature of the eggs to somewhere in the middle there. Typically you do this with hotter liquids. You do it really slowly and sometimes it can come up to like even higher temperature without scrambling. But in this case, we're just kind of taking like a medium step, and this can be added to stuff that's even hotter, but it'll do.
Nerd. All right, so I tempered my eggs with a little bit of stock, and now I'm gonna mix those in with some more stock. I want everybody to get really nicely saturated. I want it to be able to stick together. I want to be able to pick it up in fistfuls and be able to press it together into a big, wonderful mass. That's good. See, it's like a stuffing snowball. This is what you want, right? No, oh my God, I'm not a monster. Could I bring myself to do it? To throw a jagged ball of wet, sloppy meat into Kendall's face? I'm gonna hand feed you a little bit of this.
Yeah.
Come here, baby bird. No, it's okay. You're safe. You're good. You're okay. You're okay. Good. That is the most degrading thing I've ever done to a person. Well, I'm gonna grease the pan up with schmaltz or chicken fat because that's gonna taste good. And I see no reason why I shouldn't shove a little bit of this chicken fat in there. Just kind of get it in there and just kind of get it in there, you know? Just get it in there. Just kind of mix it up. Just get it in there. Sometimes you just gotta get it in there. We got our stuffing stuffed into a casserole. And now this guy's headed into a 400-something degree oven for some amount of time. So now, last thing we have to do is make gravy. I've burned myself. Jess just hacked off a big hunk of her finger. Kendall is dead. And I'd had an idea that instead of butter, I'm going to use chicken fat in my gravy. To make this gravy, I'm going to use roughly 3 tablespoons of fat. So I'm actually gonna do a little bit more flour than what Kendall recommended to me because I think she was looking at my old recipe, which frankly is inadvisable because I was a dumb young man when I came out with this episode. To wit, I have an apology to make. I made a really dumb, simple-minded dude joke in this episode that I've regretted to this day. So this is a botch that needs to be unbotched, which is, I said, I like my gravy the way I like my women, thin and rich. And that is not only untoward, it's untrue. I don't like thin, who likes thin gravy? That's disgusting. Rich, yes, sure, I like rich gravy, but it wasn't rich. I didn't thicken it enough, and I didn't want to do it again, so I just made a joke about it, a bad joke. And you all suffered the consequences. And so I, from the bottom of my heart, apologize for that crack, because I'm not proud of it, not happy with it, and it's very 2017. No, it's 2016. It was very 2016, okay?
But how do you like your chickens?
Fatty. Speaking of fat chickens, I have about a 1/4 cup of chicken fat here, about 4 tablespoons. Got about 4 tablespoons of flour. Just gonna dump that right in there. Start whisking it together to form, what's it called, Brad? A roux. We were making Nice thin blonde roux here. It's a little bit darker than a blonde roux. I just want to get a little color in there. Now what we're going to do is start slowly adding in our stock. Once we've added a little bit, we're going to whisk it until it forms a smooth paste. That way, we're going to ensure lumpless gravy. There's a little bit more. See, look at all those lumps. 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 And
Oh, shit.
they're gone. Look at that, folks.
Is it true that blonde roux have more fun?
Right, I'm trying to undo the damage done with my earlier joke. So making jokes about blondes, it's not my MO. Yes, they do. Well, I can hear Kendall breaking ice upstairs.
Great.
With her therapy group, she's doing icebreakers.
Or is it her dating reel?
See, okay. Brad's better at callbacks than I am. I'm here to make the food and look good. All right, folks.
Can I
stuffing's
buy
ready
a
to come out of the
Zoom
oven.
right now?
All right,
I'm
folks,
getting
stuffing's ready to
myself.
come out of the oven. All right, folks, stuffing's ready to come out of the oven. All right, folks, stuffing's ready to come out of the oven. Ah!
Kendall, what's about to happen?
All right, stuffing's ready to come out of the oven. Oh my f***ing gracious. Would you look at that stuffing? I need it straight out of the damn thing, straight out of the oven. I'm not gonna blow on it. Nope, it's not hot. Nope, it's fine. No, it's fine. I'm gonna eat the corner. It's fine.
Apparently
the corner's
not.
the coolest part. No, it's fine.
Steaming.
Oh, whoa, 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 whoa.
Do you want water?
That's really good. That's gonna make a great sandwich.
The next moment we've been waiting for, take 12.
Now, the bread is almost ready to come. Actually, I think it's ready to come out of the oven, so I'm gonna go check on it right now. Oh yeah, that's looking good. That is a nice kind of like brown. You know, I want it toasted on one side, but not necessarily the other. As you can see, not as toasted on this side. This is gonna be better for the outside.
Can I
of
get
the sandwich
creative
because
with
it's not
this?
gonna crunch and sort of, you know, mess up the roof of your mouth there. Now we have all of our elements here. We just have to put the damn thing together. We do have our toast here. The beauty of
This thing's
toasting it in
designed
the
so
oven
fucking
is not only that it
stupid,
wastes a lot of energy, but also that it sticks. I don't know. It's glued. You gotta be me. We just need one that looks halfway decent. Just one. Hello. Here's our winner. So
I'll be honest,
is
these
assembly
things didn't
time.
have to be separated.
I
This just makes
have to put
things so much more complicated. Unnecessarily so.
It's fine. I'll take extra safety precautions and use these knife-proof gloves. Let's get moist. I'm sorry, I am trying to be genuinely extra careful, which is why I'm not talking as much while I do this. In the meantime, Jessica knows this.
Yeah, this is not going to fit, is it?
You learn a very important lesson. Please be careful with sharp things. So as to not end up like
I'm going to try to construct this with structural integrity first and foremost. So, I'm throwing down some sea sauce, some sea berry S on the bottom and top of the sandwich, followed by white meat on the bottom. Press that down so it's nice and even. I'm going to do stuffing on both layers, a little thin layer, a little like patty stuffing. It's cooled off. It's totally cooled off. There we go. Nice little. Yep. Yeah, it's so cold. Brr! Brr! Oh no. All right. Now comes the slice of gravy-soaked bread. I'm just going to give my gravy a whisk because it is cooled off. Make sure that it's nice and smooth. And this is the whole purpose for this episode, is making sure that this layer of bread is thoroughly soaked in gravy. So I'm not going to let it sit for even 1 second less than it ought to. Brad, cue dramatic music, please. Oh boy. I mean,
Oh,
the
wait
fact
a
that this
second,
bread is
I picked up
untoasted
the stuff
already,
on this
it's
one.
got so much more gravy happening than the previous
I abandoned
iteration.
that one,
I'd call
it doesn't
that
matter.
a piece of gravy-soaked bread, would you not?
But
I
it
crazy?
doesn't give me inventory for the next mission. I'm gonna try to... I'm gonna re-enter my hangar and see if it
Okay.
magically
There we go. Now onto this
somehow
layer.
appears.
For me, I'm going to do white meat for structural integrity, just because I think it's going to stay together.
I personally don't think it
Now
will.
another layer of a stuffing kind of patty. So last time I cut it in half like this. Big mistake. Any sandwich worth a damn should be cut diagonally. Et voila. There we have it.
Of course, it makes it taste better.
The ultimate Thanksgiving leftover sandwich, the Moist Maker, executed to perfection. Only one thing left to do. Go to sleep. It's a messy bastard, but it's Thanksgiving in a
Holy
bite.
shit.
Until next time, this has been Box by Babish. Keep screwing up. I will if you will. Do I have gravy on my beard?
Surprisingly,
What
no.
about now?
Just a little bread.
Seriously?
Yeah.
What am I doing wrong?
Ich bin hier in der Arktis.
Ein gesunder Lebensstil ohne...
Bro, they really don't want to use you in a fucking adblock, damn.
Alright, so once you've allowed your turkey to fully defrost, that's 24 hours in the fridge for every 5 pounds of bird, it's time to debag it and remove its included accessories, usually a nice neck and some giblets. These are great for making or fortifying your gravy. Next up, we're going to pat
What the hell, they're not
dry
appearing at
inside
all,
now.
man.
If you plan on using an oven thermometer, you can go ahead and pull this thing out, making sure not to tear the skin
Right.
if necessary. And then it's time to talk some general turkey best practices. First up, using your fingers to separate the skin from the meat. This not only aids in crisping up the birds, but opens up the opportunity to stuff delicious things under there like butter and herbs. Matter of fact, that sounds really pretty good. Why don't we do that? To make compound butter, we're simply combining 8 ounces of room temperature unsalted butter with the herbs and spices of our choice. I'm going with some freshly chopped sage, rosemary, and thyme, and a hefty pinch of kosher salt and freshly ground black pepper, which is going to help more deeply season the meat under the skin. Go ahead and tiny whisk that together until it's homogeneous, and then we can introduce it to our bird. One little gob at a time, we're going to shove and massage it into every corner that we can get it. Most of this is going to melt away, but it's going to deeply flavor the meat before it goes. Still got some left over, go ahead and just rub it all over everything. Next up, we got to talk brining. Now, if you're going with a wet brine, you want to do that first before any of this other stuff, but I prefer a dry brine of about a half cup of kosher salt mixed with 1 teaspoon of baking powder, which, once liberally applied to every nook and cranny of the exterior of the bird, can then hang out uncovered in the fridge for 24 hours. Now, one of the advantages of a wet brine is that it gives you very, very moist meat, but most of that moisture just ends up being salty water. It also doesn't really penetrate very deeply into the meat, 2 problems that we can fix in one go. I've got 1 cup of concentrated turkey stock that I've made by boiling down about 2 quarts of turkey stock to 1 cup, and 1 cup lightly melted butter, which I'm going to tiny whisk together into a rich, buttery turkey flavor emulsion of your dreams, and administered to the turkey by virtue of a flavor injector, a giant scary meat needle that I'm going to insert repeatedly and joyfully in every part of the white and dark meat. Now, before doing this, you want to know your turkey's commercial brining status. If the ingredients say anything more than turkey, in other words salts, flavors, water added, then that means that it was probably commercially brined, and you want to make sure that your injection liquid doesn't have any added salt. Next up, we're going to truss the legs, in other words just tie them together, and tuck the wings underneath the front of the turkey. You will notice that there is no stuffing in this bird. That's because by the time the stuffing reaches a safe to eat temperature, the rest of the turkey is going to be dried out. If you really want to stuff things in there, go with a quartered onion and a halved lemon. Since you're not going to eat them, they don't need to come up to temperature, and they're going to introduce a whole bunch more flavor into the situation. So now that our turkey has been prepped and prodded in all manner of ways, it's time to talk method of cooking. First up, we're going to go with just a classic oven roasted turkey. I'm lining the bottom of my roasting pan with aluminum foil and tossing a whole roughly chopped onion in there, 1 whole head of garlic, cloves separated, no need to peel, a few chopped carrots, and a few ribs of chopped celery. All these vegetables are going to do 2 things: prevent the drippings from your turkey from evaporating and burning, and add even more flavor, so you get a bonus shot of concentrated stock to add to your gravy once you're done cooking. Turkey goes in a rack set over top, and then the classic method is to loosely tent with foil and pop into a 3.
Okay, how much time do I have still left?
Oven for about
2 days. To get how much? 80% of the entire area.
About 2 hours.
That is a challenge,
This is going to bring the turkey up to temperature in a nice, moist
which I
environment.
shall
Scrape.
gladly accept.
For keeping the meat moist and cooking the turkey evenly, but not so great for browning. After 2 hours, or once the thickest part of the breast registers about 150 degrees Fahrenheit, we're uncovering the turkey, cranking the oven up to 450 degrees Fahrenheit, preferably with convection. We're crisping up the bird for anywhere from 15 to 45 minutes, until the breast meat registers about 155 and the dark meat 175. Then we're letting it rest uncovered for 20 to 30 minutes. Don't worry, it won't cool off, but not before we first retrieve all those delicious drippings. Let this stuff settle for a few minutes, skim the fat off the top, and you've got some hyper-concentrated stock to add to your gravy. Once the turkey is rested, you can go ahead and carve as desired. Next up, the popular oven bag method. These are available at your local grocer, and is basically the same as
Am I doing it wrong? Okay, Google won't locate all of that. No matter. I love how you just joined the fight when this isn't about you. What are you doing? It definitely takes a long ass time. How do I open that one over there? Hold on. By killing everything here? Maybe. Would be kind of cool. That's the only idea I've got left. Okay. That was not it. Killing everything in the area was not the option, but I'm glad I tried it out anyway. What's this? There's another one over there. I'll just leave it at that for now and get that one. Okay, first course of action. Guess there's no one in this direction. There he is. Can I build a compass already? Check that. I love how I haven't touched this in years. Basically years. Recipe chocolate. Where is it? I want to make chocolate. Still not a signature dish. It is. No, I can make the treasure compass for all the other regions, but not yet for theirs. Okay. Here's my trust level has to go up. I can do some missions as well, don't matter. Great. This isn't supposed to be about llamas with reference, right? Because they look distinguishingly the same. Almost. And I'm doing something like that. Did they announce already what's coming up next? Still can't tell which one they're going to release.
Du willst dein Auto in Zahlung geben?
The music alone wants to make me play Minecraft.
Hello there. Welcome back to another episode of Arcade with Alvin. Today I'll be making the cake from Minecraft, which is made with only a few ingredients, among which are wheat, a bucket of milk, and eggs. 1 egg to be precise. We'll move over to our crafting table, place down our ingredients one by one, 3 wheat on top, followed by 1 sugar on the left.
Bro, doesn't work, bro.
And another.
You don't actually fucking miss one. Having these portions not always seems it seems kind of odd. They at least could have given a little dinosaur noise when he says something. Like, I would be fine with like the Final Fantasy-esque like text box voice when they almost say something but you have to read the rest. That would have been a good compromise in my opinion. At least like a little haha, yes. Yes, that is the case. Shit like that, you know. Just here being in awkward silence, reading those text boxes while like cool shit happens on screen. Seems kind of odd. They have the money to voice to voice in these entire quests. I don't know why they're not doing it. If they want to do it to like save memory, they already lost that. They already lost that battle. Well, this is some Legend of Zelda shit. Link, you have to find me. Especially with stuff like this. Right. There's still so much shit I haven't done. Ascension challenge 4. Complete this quest to begin the genius. Oh, it's for the player. I don't play the fucking card game. I don't care. Shit. I'm at 34%. It's going to take a 1 minute. I so wish they had the same system where you can just skip this entire process, just like in Zenith. It would have been so handy. Because I don't need to know the law to every side quest. Where do you go? Looks cool. Sweet.
はたくさんあった方がいい。そう思わないか？飛ぶか。私も。
Great.
そうくる。
オッケー。わけ。山の地。ロックオン。
まだ見せきれてないのに。お前の勝ちだ。
オッケー。飛ぶか。風が立つぞ。
This also looks cool.
静粛に。私は帰ってきた。主なきそれを初めて見つけたのが君であれば、それは君のものだ。法律上問題はない。
風が立つぞ。よっ。
静粛に。
Oh, okay. Did it? This bubble was cool. I'm gonna be right back. I'm gonna go get myself a biscuit.